Russia, under the order of Vladimir Putin, launched its invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. The Kremlin anticipated a swift victory, aiming to seize Kyiv within days. They underestimated the Ukrainian resolve and overestimated their own capabilities. Fierce resistance from Ukrainian forces and civilians stalled the invasion. Strategic blunders and effective Ukrainian defenses led to a stalemate. The conflict turned into a prolonged war of attrition. Intense fighting and rapid shifts in control marked the early phase. Russian advances were hampered by logistical issues and low morale. The war settled into relentless artillery bombardments and trench warfare. Civilian casualties mounted as the fighting intensified. The conflict disrupted global supply chains and heightened geopolitical tensions. The war highlighted the human cost of conflict and the fragility of peace. It underscored the dangers of miscalculation and the unpredictable nature of war. The illusion of a swift victory was shattered, revealing a protracted conflict. As the war continued, hopes for a quick resolution faded. The war in Ukraine has resulted in a staggering loss of life, with casualty figures painting a grim picture of the conflict's human toll. By December 2024, the conflict had claimed the lives of hundreds of thousands of soldiers and civilians. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky reported over 43,000 Ukrainian soldiers killed, with an additional 370,000 wounded. The United Nations estimated over 40,000 civilian deaths, with the actual figure likely higher. Russian casualty figures are challenging to verify, but estimates suggest they are comparable to or higher than Ukrainian losses. The true human cost of the war will likely not be fully comprehended for years or even decades. The relentless fighting in Ukraine has strained the military capabilities and morale of both sides. The war of attrition has tested the endurance of both Ukrainian and Russian forces. Russia's military has been exposed for its weaknesses in logistics, equipment, and leadership. Economic sanctions and high casualty rates have hampered Russia's war effort. Despite initial gains, Russia has struggled to maintain its offensive momentum. Heavy reliance on artillery has depleted Russian ammunition stockpiles. Ukraine has shown remarkable resilience and determination. International support has bolstered Ukraine's military efforts. Continued international assistance is crucial for Ukraine. The war in Ukraine, with its devastating human cost and prolonged stalemate, evokes chilling parallels to historical conflicts, particularly those characterized by attrition warfare. The horrors of trench warfare during World War I, where millions perished in a grinding battle of attrition, resonate deeply with the current situation in Ukraine. The relentless artillery bombardments, the devastating injuries inflicted on soldiers, and the psychological toll of prolonged exposure to violence are tragically familiar to those who have studied the history of 20th-century warfare. The siege of Leningrad during World War II, where the civilian population endured unimaginable suffering under a prolonged siege, serves as another stark reminder of the devastating consequences of modern warfare on civilian populations. The deliberate targeting of civilian infrastructure, the use of starvation as a weapon of war, and the indiscriminate violence inflicted on innocent people are tragically mirrored in the Ukrainian conflict. These historical parallels underscore the importance of learning from the mistakes of the past and the urgent need for a negotiated settlement to prevent further suffering. The international community must work together to find a peaceful resolution to the conflict, drawing on lessons learned from past wars to prevent history from repeating itself in its most brutal forms. Section 5. The Technological Battlefield. The war in Ukraine has become a testing ground for modern military technologies, with both sides deploying advanced weaponry and tactics in their fight for survival. Drones, once primarily used for reconnaissance and targeted strikes, have become ubiquitous on the battlefield, employed for everything from artillery spotting to delivering explosives. The use of loitering munitions or kamikaze drones has added a new dimension to the conflict, enabling both sides to strike with precision at distances previously unimaginable. Cyber warfare has also played a significant role in the conflict, with both sides engaging in sophisticated cyber attacks targeting critical infrastructure, financial institutions, and government networks. The conflict has highlighted the increasing importance of cybersecurity in modern warfare, and the potential for cyber attacks to disrupt essential services and sow chaos among civilian populations. The use of artificial intelligence, or AI, in military applications has also come to the forefront during the conflict. AI-powered systems are being used to analyze vast amounts of data from battlefield sensors, drones, and other sources, providing commanders with real-time intelligence and decision-making support. However, the ethical implications of using AI in warfare, particularly concerning the potential for autonomous weapon systems to make life-or-death decisions without human intervention, remain a subject of intense debate. Section 6. The Global Stage of War. The war in Ukraine has reverberated far beyond the borders of the two countries directly involved, sending shockwaves throughout the international community and reshaping geopolitical alliances. The conflict has exposed the fragility of the post-Cold War order and exacerbated existing tensions between Russia and the West. The invasion of Ukraine has been widely condemned by the international community, leading to widespread sanctions against Russia and its allies. The United States, the European Union, and other Western nations have imposed unprecedented economic sanctions on Russia, targeting its financial institutions, energy sector, and oligarchs close to the Kremlin. These sanctions aim to cripple the Russian economy and pressure Putin to end the war. However, the sanctions have also had global economic consequences, contributing to rising inflation, supply chain disruptions, and energy shortages in some regions. The war has also highlighted the growing importance of China on the global stage. China, while officially neutral in the conflict, has provided economic and diplomatic support to Russia, deepening its strategic partnership with Moscow. The conflict has underscored the emerging multipolar world order, where power is increasingly distributed among multiple centers of influence, challenging the traditional dominance of the West. Section 7. Ukraine's Lifeline: International Support. International support has been crucial for Ukraine's ability to resist the Russian invasion and defend its sovereignty. The United States, the European Union, and other allied nations have provided billions of dollars in military aid, humanitarian assistance, and financial support to Ukraine since the beginning of the conflict. This aid has been instrumental in bolstering Ukraine's defense capabilities, providing essential supplies to its people, and shoring up its economy. The United States has been the largest single donor of military aid to Ukraine, providing billions of dollars worth of weapons systems, ammunition, and other military equipment. This assistance has included Javelin anti-tank missiles, Stinger anti-aircraft systems, HIMARS rocket launchers, and other advanced weaponry that has proven highly effective against Russian forces. The European Union has also provided significant financial and military assistance to Ukraine, while also imposing sanctions on Russia and providing refuge to millions of Ukrainian refugees fleeing the conflict. The EU has also played a key role in coordinating international efforts to support Ukraine and hold Russia accountable for its actions. Section 8. The Human Cost of Conflict. Beyond the staggering casualty figures, the war in Ukraine has exacted a devastating human toll, leaving deep scars on the lives of millions of people. The conflict has displaced millions of Ukrainians from their homes, creating a refugee crisis not seen in Europe since World War II. Millions more have been internally displaced, seeking refuge in safer parts of the country. The war has had a profound impact on the mental health and well-being of Ukrainians, with many suffering from trauma, anxiety, and depression. The constant threat of violence, the loss of loved ones, and the destruction of homes and communities have taken a heavy toll on the Ukrainian psyche. The conflict has also had a devastating impact on Ukraine's economy, infrastructure, and cultural heritage. The World Bank estimates that Ukraine's economy will contract by over 45% in 2022, with the war causing widespread destruction of infrastructure, businesses, and homes. The conflict has also damaged or destroyed numerous cultural and historical sites, erasing irreplaceable parts of Ukraine's heritage. Section 9. Seeking a Path to Peace. As the war in Ukraine grinds on, the international community faces the daunting task of finding a path to peace that addresses the root causes of the conflict and prevents further bloodshed. A lasting solution requires a multifaceted approach that includes diplomacy, accountability, and a commitment to rebuilding Ukraine. Negotiations between Russia and Ukraine have been intermittent and inconclusive, with both sides struggling to find common ground. However, continued diplomatic efforts are essential to explore potential avenues for a ceasefire, prisoner exchanges, and a negotiated settlement that respects Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Accountability for war crimes and crimes against humanity committed during the conflict, is crucial for achieving justice and lasting peace. The International Criminal Court has opened an investigation into alleged war crimes in Ukraine, and efforts are underway to document and preserve evidence of atrocities. Holding perpetrators accountable for their actions is essential for deterring future crimes and ensuring that justice is served. The international community must also commit to supporting Ukraine's long-term recovery and reconstruction. Rebuilding Ukraine's economy, infrastructure, and social fabric will require a sustained international effort, with significant financial assistance, technical expertise, and a commitment to fostering sustainable development.